The following presentation does not represent Australian opinion or intellect. We do not speak for any religious order or ethnic minority. We are not political scientists or uni graduates. We're insignificant upper-lower class scum, comparing notes and airing grievances. It's just our opinion. Deal with it.
No way that GST will ever be part of our policy.
Never, ever.
Never, ever. It's dead.
If they don't like it, go back to where they're from.
It is a big idea.
No, we don't need them.
A new world order. By 1990, no Australian child will be living in poverty.
Right.
You should shell out.
That's what they say.
Yeah,
Please explain.
there you go.
You have anything to do after this? No. Your child is alone in the gully. No, don't have anything to do.
Here's some noodles.
Yeah, it's just...
A noodle and a book, knock yourself out.
reads the same book for like 5 hours.
Knows it off by look, Daddy.
Knock yourself out. You're a kind of a man.
It's like her books, man. I know them like word for word, all of them. I've read them so many times.
What do you read to her? And when do you read to her?
Whenever, during the day, before bed.
How many you get through? I'm just curious.
Well, how many TV guides do you read to
No, it's the horse form. The horse guide.
We've got Winks at 3 to 1.
You know when you open the paper up and sometimes we've got those like Melbourne bars and shit? Like the little booklet of bars.
Oh, look, darling, cherry bars on tonight. No.
There's a new microbrewery opening in Richmond.
Done. No.
It's lost in it. Ooh, lager.
Oh, fuck.
No, honestly, man.
What book does she like? Like Zeus, Dr. Zeus? Like old school books?
I've read it, Dr. Zeus. She doesn't mind it. Yeah.
She doesn't?
No.
Because now I'm going to have to get into all these books now because... But there's all these new books. I want to read the kid old books, you know, like all the old shit.
Yeah, I got a whole bunch of new
The
ones.
racist golden books and the one I bought.
Good old days.
Yeah.
She's obsessed with this one called Peekaboo Poo.
How's that?
And it's like this little kid that takes shits like, all around the house. Like in the dad's shoes, like in the washing basket, and then like...
This is an actual children's book.
Yeah. That's what I've noticed about children's books. Like a lot of the time,
Here it comes out.
a lot of the times, like the main character is like really naughty.
Naughty.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to go take a shit in my dad's shoes.
Yeah, isn't it like they show the they play the truancy card, so then the kid knows what shit behaviour is, and then shows him what happens when something bad happens.
I'm going to look up inappropriate children's books.
But I'm very animated when I read. Like I do all the voices for each character individually.
I'd love to see that.
Oh, dude, she loves it. I'm very.
I can see you like putting the script down and getting up and like ranting and raving and shit.
Lots of hand gestures and yelling and stuff.
So here's a couple of fun books that I will buy for my child. The Night Dad Went to Jail.
Oh, I remember that meme, man. That was the best. Yeah, dude. I remember that. It was all over Facey back like years ago.
These are actual books. These are actual books.
Are these old school books though?
I don't know. Some of them look decently new, but they're pretty old.
Are you sure that it's not the Photoshop jobs, the memes?
I don't know, man.
There was a few. I remember there was heaps.
Well, there's one here illustrated by Pam Adams. Who cares about disabled people?
Are you joking?
No, and that looks pretty old school. That looks
Hang
like...
on, man. I'm going to Google that.
Yeah, but that could be like-
that's got to be a meme.
No, it says that actually exist.
Yeah, but that could just be like
No.
that could be who cares for them. Like who
Mummy
cares?
drinks because you're bad.
No, these have got to be memes, man. Mummy drinks because...
Or maybe do inappropriate child's books 2016 or something like
Hang on.
that.
Mummy drinks because you're bad. You Google it. No, you're meme.
So it is.
Yeah.
Running away to spite your father.
Yeah, because it's got the real book. Hang on. The real book title is... That's actually really funny. The real one is... Hang on. Dude, do you remember the Bernstein Bears?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a mad one. Go get the belt.
Get the belt.
Go get the pill. Dr. Zeus, the Cat in the Hat, just says most people are cunts.
I want to read these books, man.
Dr. Zeus books are weird, by the way. I've read a few, and there's
Charlie chokes.
You know
his
why?
chicken.
Because
very repetitive.
but it's also wasn't the creator on drugs or some shit?
Oh, I would not doubt that one second.
Theodore Zeus Giselle was a American author.
Was he American? I thought he was like
Is that his
Swedish
name?
or something.
Theodore Zeus.
Yeah, Seuss.
Seuss, sorry.
Seuss was Dr. Seuss.
Seuss, yeah.
Yeah. Did they make a movie based on his life? I feel like they did. I don't know why.
I know they made a Dr. Seuss movie, like about the cat, like the main character. I know
Yeah, it wasn't Mike Myers or Jim Carrey.
No, Mike Myers. I think
Yeah,
you're
Mike
right.
Myers and Jim Carrey. Yeah.
I tried to watch that with Indy, and she kind of got a little bit scared.
Oh,
She was scared of the cat. Like, she was scared of the cat's face.
Yeah. Do you remember the Pinocchio, the original Disney one?
Oh, I loved it.
Yeah. Do you remember when he goes to that bad kids island? And like all the kids are smoking and playing pool and playing cards and stuff?
Oh.
And he turns into a donkey.
Yeah. Vaguely, yeah.
That was like fucking graphic when I was a kid, man.
Yeah.
Like you thought like shit.
Yeah.
There's like Goodfellas or something. You know what I mean?
Goodfellas of the.
Yeah, I'm
cartoon
serious.
world.
Because like all the kids are like being loud and smoking and doing all that sort of shit.
An old pedophile Geppetto down in the little workshop.
Pedophile. They call him pedophile because he wants a son.
No,
Is he a pedophile?
No, there was something like he had pedophile ways or something. I remember.
Geppetto?
Why?
Oh,
'Cause
yeah.
he was a marionette maker.
Nah, because of something he did. Like, I can't remember what it was.
Loved working with wood. Always invited the kids in.
Had the cat.
Yeah, Geppetto, man.
Figaro. The cat was Figaro.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
He was trying to make a sex robot, really. Like, when you think about it, that was...
He was
Mate.
making marionettes and clocks, you idiot.
And why did Pinocchio? Why did Pinocchio have such a long nose?
What was the moral behind that story?
Fuck knows.
The moral behind that, so you don't tell lies.
Yeah, you don't tell lies, otherwise your nose grows.
I don't even remember. I remember I was watching a doco on Walt Disney like not long ago. I can't remember where I saw it. It was on TV, I think, and they were just talking about the rise of like Walt Disney, like basically him borrowing money, reinvesting in the company, and then like they were scared like I can't remember which movie he made, and they thought it was going to be a massive flop, and then like it fucking 180'd and killed it. But yeah, one of the movies nearly broke him. And they were talking about Pinocchio a lot. Like, that broke a lot of barriers for shit. Like, all that shit. Like, dude, that was all in the 50s and stuff, yeah? That's pretty nuts. Like, those animations, like, they stood the test. They're like, dude, we watched them growing up.
Oh, yeah, big
If
time,
we watched them in the late 80s growing up, and they came out in the 50s, like,
Still 30
fuck,
years
man.
on, yeah.
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 This is some guy's take on Geppetto. All right.
Oh, God.
You have a white old man named Geppetto who lived alone, no wife, no kids, nor a girlfriend. So Geppetto decided to make a wooden puppet of a boy and hoped and prayed this wooden puppet boy would turn into a real boy. So a lonely old man who's seeking companionship creates a puppet boy instead of a puppet woman. I don't understand the logic behind that. To me, Geppetto sounds like a pedo.
That's where I was getting it from, yeah.
Yeah, but no.
Make a wife maybe first.
You know, just... Yeah, well...
Sex robot wife. Wooden sex robot.
Get full circle.
Splinters.
2 minutes into the next podcast.
Copping splinters.
Like a wooden sex doll.
I actually watched that sex documentary.
Oh, yeah, you said you were going to do... Yeah, how was it?
Weird.
Yeah, does it sort of change your
Where
mind?
did you get time to... How long did it go for?
Like 40 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Did it change your mind?
You would have hated every person in that documentary.
Why? Why me?
Because everyone would have been...
Why did you get this little smuggler? Because of his beanie as well. It's
No,
like
no,
his little beady eyes poking
yeah.
over the pop filter on the mic.
It's like...
Exactly. Man.
Nah, like it wasn't just the creepy type. It was like guys that just couldn't have like proper relationships. They were sick of being hurt by girls. So
Or
thought-
they haven't had any girlfriends ever.
Yeah, well, it centered around like a couple of main characters and this one guy who was a video game tester.
Of course he was.
Just a complete nerdy, like
He probably had like 2 podcasts he ran.
Broke
One,
up.
one independently.
Yeah.
One independently about gaming, and then one that he had with a few other people who shared similar views, but it got a bit too political for him. You know what I mean?
So now just has to make a sex robot.
Yeah.
Yeah, he lost his girlfriend.
It's a natural progression.
Didn't know why he lost his girlfriend. Lots of scenes of him like just looking out at the scenery, like sad. You know that?
Yeah. And have the music, like sad piano music.
Yeah, it was like Utah. It was like Utah, so it was like looking out into the canyons and shit, still sad and stuff.
Utah. You know what? You've just said like 3 things that tie in to something that I spent all morning reading about. The Ted Bundy, the serial killer.
Yeah.
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 Do you know much about Ted Bundy?
Not heaps.
I was saying to Nick before you got here, like Ted Bundy, true to he was literally, I was explaining to Nick before, literally to the point, I'm trying to figure it away. He was,
Truest to the word.
a psychopath. Right? Like, they were saying, like, some professor or whatever, I'll see if I can find the actual quote. There was some professor or something that was,
So he's a serial killer, right?
Yeah, one of the worst.
so you don't know anything about it?
No, I know a little bit.
One of the worst in history.
How many people did he kill? That's what I'm like.
okay, how many people, this is the thing. They say,
And how he did it.
Still not sure.
documented, they've got like 25 to 36, as in like documented, like realistically, as in like concrete, yep, these are his, right? Then there's like another 36 murders that they haven't pinned on anyone, but
Pretty sure it's him.
But he was in the vicinity,
Beyond doubt, but they just don't have enough.
Blood on his clothes.
Yeah, like literally,
Yeah.
beyond doubt. But then they were saying, like, there was a quote by like Bundy, because when they were throwing these numbers around, because he refused to implicate himself in any murders up until his death. This is something I was explaining before. Dude, I read this like driving here.
What, he just denied it?
He denied it because he was such a narcissistic sociopath, where he blamed victims, he blamed everything. He blamed like TV, true crime detective novels. He blamed everyone but himself. Right?
I didn't do it.
So, Ted, did you murder these people? I don't know what you're talking about, man.
Seriously, like, he was out of his mind.
Wasn't me.
He was nuts, right?
But you stabbed her in the shower.
It wasn't me.
That's not about it. Wasn't me. No.
How'd you see him in a pussy? It wasn't
me.
Dude, he was fucked. Okay, so basically, look this way, yeah. Through like all the trials and shit like that, sometimes he would. For him, the most important thing during his whole defense was to be in charge of like his defense.
Control freak.
Yeah, even when he was facing like a million life, you know what I mean? His thing was like, nah.
I represent myself.
Yeah, literally, he represented himself. Actually, that's the other thing that was pretty impressive, man. In one of he escaped from prison twice. Yeah.
With the spoon in the wall.
Nah, even better, right?
Bobby style.
One of his where is it? I was reading about
Digging
this,
out a little hole under.
Yeah.
The first time he escaped, right? I don't know if it was the first time he escaped or the second time. He chose to represent himself in court, because if you represent yourself, you're not shackled.
Ah.
Yeah. So then halfway through the trial, he's like, "May I go to the library to like look something up?"
See
like,
ya.
in the courtroom library, and they're like, "Yeah, go." Gets to the library. There's a window behind like a bookcase. He just jumps out, sprains an ankle, just gets on the run. Like literally,
He walks out the front door.
no shit,
Warden.
Yeah, I swear, man. He just like he did that, man. Like I'm like, fuck, what a genius. Like his escapes were like ridiculous. Like
Surely they'd make some exception to like shackle him due to the heinousness of his crimes.
no, man.
Nah, back in the, when was it? 50s, no, it'd be the 70s and 80s, yeah?
Here we go. Concealed behind during the recess, he asked to visit the Law House Library. Concealed behind a bookcase, opened a window, jumped from a second story, spraining his ankle.
How was there not someone watching
Shed
him?
an outer layer of clothing, and he walked through Aspen, like through roadblocks. Like, yeah, like cool. And then, this is the thing, like I read about all these murders, and they're pretty standard rape, bludgeon to death, sexually assault, but he went as far as like necrophilia and shit like that as well, right? He was a psycho. But, like all the murders, all his victims were exactly the same, just pretty young white girls. And apparently they all like had like a similar hair part and characteristics to an ex-girlfriend that like, he was with, and then she rejected him, and then he got back together with her purely to like propose and then break up with her just to counter that
Fuck with her.
rejection.
Yeah.
And it was all in Utah. Yeah, a lot of it was set in like Salt Lake City.
There you go.
That's like, I'm serious.
There you go.
Full circle, right?
Breeds that type.
Dude, it was fucked. Dude, that time when he jumped out of the courtroom, right? Get this. This is the thing. Like, I was reading the murders and there was nothing really incredible about him, as in like, it was some fucking like sniper shot from a building, or he never used guns because of ballistics. He was like meticulous with that. They never found a single fingerprint at any of the crime scenes.
Oh, wow.
But they all had the same traits. Like you usually garrote them, behead them, strangle them, like strangling to death, bludgeoning him to death, like in their sleep even. Like stupid shit, right? But his escapes, like I was more impressed with the escape and what he managed to do like as a fugitive. Like dude, after that point, right? He's gone through Aspen, gone up to the mountains, broke into a hunting cabin, stole food, clothing and a rifle, left the cabin, kept moving towards like a town, came lost in the forest, 2 days like he was walking around a mountain, broke into like a trailer, and then stole more shit, went southwards to the north, eluding parties, stole a car, and then drove back to Aspen, and cops noticed him like weaving in and out, and in the car they found like maps and then blah 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 blah, right? They threw him back in the slammer. Yeah, get this. While he's in there, he's assembled a new escape plan. He acquired a detailed floor plan of the jail, hacksaw blade, accumulated $500 in cash over a 6-month period, like mostly from visitors, and mostly from this one bird that he married, right? And then
He's fucked up all the knees.
during the evenings, when other prisoners were showering, he sawed a hole about 1 foot square, so 30 centimeters.
Yeah.
30 centimeters square, right? So what's that, man?
Fuck all, man.
Like that, nothing.
30-centimeter ruler.
Yeah, square. And then between the steel reinforcing bars in his cell, right, in the ceiling, yeah, he lost 16 kilos and wriggled through it into the crawl space. And then in the weeks that followed, he did practice runs, just sussing the area out. And then...
Oh, so he'd go into the hole,
Yeah, and just suss it all out, yeah.
Wiggle back out.
And then, just as his trial was coming up, there's all this sort of chaos and commotion around, because Aspen, turned into a fucking, hub. He piled books into his, bed, covered him with a blanket to look like a body, crawled into the crawl space, broke through the ceiling into the apartment of the jailer, who was out for the night with his missus, changed into street clothes, and then walked out the front door.
What the fuck?
Wow.
But get this escape, yeah? This is from Aspen. Get this. This is nuts. He stole a car, drove out to eastwards, right? Car broke down on the interstate. Someone gave him a lift. He caught a bus to Denver. Then he boarded a flight to Chicago. And then back in the prison in Glenwood Springs, the jail skeleton crew didn't discover it until noon. So more than 17 hours after he actually escaped. By this point, he was already in Chicago. Seriously? What the fuck?
Ted, wake up.
How did he board a flight?
He had $500 on him. This is back in the
70s.
Late 70s, early 80s?
yeah.
I can't find it. Oh, late 77.
Shit.
So $500 would be a couple, $2-3 easy, right? Gets to Chicago, gets on a train to Michigan. There, in a local pub, he watched his old college team in the Rose Bowl, right? 5 days later, he stole a car, drove to Atlanta, boarded a bus, got to Tallahassee, in Florida, and then he rented a room under an alias at a boarding house near the Florida State U. And then he tried to find legitimate work as at a shop construction site, but he had to abandon it because he had no ID on him, and he figured he could stay in Florida as long as he could, as long as he remained undetected. Because he couldn't get a job, just went back to shoplifting and taking people's credit cards and shit. Literally, that's what. But they get this, yeah. He'd been there for hang on. He got there on January 8, right? January 15. So what's that? 7 days. A week later, man, he'd been out for a week. He ended up bludgeoning some woman to death in her sleep, and then went into another bedroom. This is the sorority house of the local uni at Florida State, right? Bludgeoned one girl to death, bludgeoned another one, bit into. Oh, and that was one of the things that they beat her unconscious, strangled her, tore, all that sort of shit. Beat deeply into her in her ass, he bit her, and they used that in the defense. Dentists lined up, took plaster casts in his teeth,
the
and
teeth
said,
mold, yeah.
Another went into another bedroom, attacked some other girl, broken jaw, all that sort of shit, killed her.
Just couldn't help himself.
Dude, a week out.
Had to kill.
A week out, man.
He tried to go straight, then he had no ID.
Dude, then he drove, and then that was the 15th. On February 8th, he drove east to Jacksonville, right? And, he fucked around there, and then he backtracked, went to, near Salt Lake City, Lake City, sorry. While he was there, killed some other girl. They found, weeks later. He was out for a month. February 12th, no more cash, overdue rent. Stole a car, drove across Florida near the Alabama state line, where they picked him up. Someone checked his car, for warrants or whatever, and and then he got chased down by a cop. And then
the jackal, this guy.
Yeah, and then they took him. The guy that arrested him had no idea who he was. Just arrested him for they got bailing, assaulting him and stuff. And he says he was unaware that he had just arrested one of the FBI 10 most wanted fugitives, and he heard Bundy say, "I wish you'd killed me," as he's leaving. Literally.
So was that the second time he escaped through the hole?
Yeah.
That was the second time. The first time was out the window.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No shit.
You think they would have put him in a more of a secure kind of...
Yeah, or really keep an eye on him,
Because, put it this way, if they were doing their job properly, then those girls would still be alive.
Yeah.
Dude, he fathered a child while he was in prison. Conjugal visits weren't allowed, but apparently guards were getting paid off.
Yeah.
Inmates were pooling money together.
slamming her,
and that bird came back and, like, in 82 gave birth to a girl and said that Bundy was the father.
A girl as well.
Yeah.
Could you imagine saying Ted Bundy's your father?
That'd be kind of cool.
Dude, he was fucked. And you know how you said, what'd you call him, a chameleon or whatever?
The jackal.
The jackal, yeah. One thing about Ted Bundy was that he had like a really plain face. He was like, he was a good-looking guy, like he was handsome, he was charismatic, but he had a plain face where if he just smiled a bit differently, grew a mo, his image, like his face would just change completely. Like where they tried to show witnesses photos in the during things, and the cops were like, "There's no point showing a photo. This man, we don't even recognize him in some of the new photos. You know, they might move a file photo from one prison to another. It's like, dude, who the fuck is this? We don't even recognize him.
Shape-shifting.
He just had that kind of face that was so easily changeable.
Psycho, man.
Yeah, he just really plain looking face.
I've got one of his quotes. We serial killers are your sons. We are your husbands. We are everywhere, and there will be more of your children dead tomorrow. That was his quote, straight up.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, man.
So is he dead now?
Yeah, they put him to the electric chair.
Oh, good.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Finally.
Yeah. No, it was it was put to the electric chair. But the thing with it, right? A curious chameleon-like ability to change his appearance almost at will.
Yeah.
Just with facial hair and just changing expressions, or like anything.
Yeah, he was just like the jackal, Bruce Willis.
Shit, man,
Yeah,
he's got some fucked up quotes, dude.
Yeah, he's fucked.
Murder is not about lust, and it's not about violence. It's about possession. When you feel the last breath of your life coming out of the woman, you look into her eyes. At that point, it's being God.
Oh, dude, that's head shivers down. That's violent. That's fucked up.
That's nuts.
Oh.
That's, yeah.
But
Just watching that last bit of life just...
And he
fade
got off
away.
on that. He got off on that. And then came the necrophilia.
well, that's it. What I was saying about that psychopath quote. Yeah, it's hang on. Lewis, is it Lewis? I'm just trying to find the name here. Oh yeah, experts' conclusions varied when he underwent multiple psychiatric examinations. Dorothea Otnow Lewis, professor of psychiatry at New York School of Medicine, right? Initially made a diagnosis of bipolar, then she changed her impression more than once, suggested possibility of multiple personality, all types of shit, right? Like to pull it out, and then precise diagnosis elusive. It was elusive, right? What you can't pin one thing on this guy.
Yeah.
Majority of evidence pointed away from bipolar and other psychoses and toward antisocial personality disorder. So they found
Just a bit.
yeah, they found personality traits typically found like in ASPD patients who are often identified as sociopaths or psychos, such as an outward charm and charisma with little true personality or genuine insight beneath the facade.
Yeah.
He was just like he had no empathy. Like, when he started finding relatives of the victims, and like he was surprised that people actually gave a shit because he just thought we were all alone and no one cared about anyone else.
Yeah.
We're just our own worlds.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He was like, why are these people upset? Like he didn't actually understand that there are people that actually care about other people.
Just didn't have that empathy gene at all.
And then like the prosecutor says, right, sociopaths are egotistical manipulators who think they can con anybody. Sometimes he manipulates even me. That's what one psychiatrist said. And then Lewis, the woman, the other doctor, said she agreed with the majority. I always tell my graduate students that if they can find me a real true psychopath, I'll buy them dinner. I never thought they existed, but I think Ted may have been one, a true psychopath without any remorse or empathy at all.
Sounds like a Hannibal Lecter type character.
He was fucked.
He could con the fucking psychs and shit.
Yeah,
like,
but then he tried to blame porn. And like over sexualizing like everything, and like watching porn non-stop and reading True Detective, and then like wanting to create a reality,
By bludgeoning someone to...
Yeah, then he did like an interview. He did an interview with one
makes
dude.
sense.
He did an interview with one guy, right? And he tried to go down that path, but then that critics said like the guy he was doing an interview with was a big critic on porn and all that sort of stuff. So they thought maybe he was just trying to do it to win favor with the interviewer. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's so fucked up, man. He's fucked. It was funny. I was saying to Nick, I was like raised Methodist, and at one point even like got inducted into like Latter-day Saints or something. But even though like he wasn't practicing, eventually he got like thrown out like publicly like after all the.
We don't want him here.
Yeah,
Dude, that's
crazy, man. Ted Bundy.
and he got what he wanted because we're still talking about him.
No shit.
That's what people want. They want their name remembered. Serial killers and stuff.
Notoriety.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when he said when they were trying to come up with the numbers of victims, you were saying how many did you kill?
Yeah.
officially it was like 36 or something, yeah? Then detectives and cops all sort of said, yeah, the number's probably more like 60 something. And then he said, yeah, put a 1 in front of that, and you're probably there.
Shit.
Jeez Louise.
Yeah.
Just heaps of missing ones that they probably never even went on the radar.
Yeah, and they all had the same characteristics, the same areas, just there wasn't enough evidence or just got overlooked. Most of his victims will never be found, like bodies just disappeared.
And it was always a female?
Always a female.
Sweet little female?
Between the ages of like 15 to 25 or 30 or something.
Fuck.
Yeah, and it said, like, I was reading about one of them, like, one victim got away because her older brother, like, got back to, like, the house or something and just disappeared.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, what a bitch. Sociopaths, man. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, white females. Like, that's all he ever went for.
Possession,
and they say
power.
He came back, it was all about possession.
Easy targets.
Yeah, and he said once you kill someone, it's like, because he was a thief. Because he never, like, he had a long-term missus through all of this, and she'd been talking to cops through the last, like, 10 years of the run or whatever, or I don't know how long, and he had no idea. And somehow she seemed to, like, escape, like, any of that. And he said that whenever he felt, like, the urge to, like, kill or whatever, he'd leave, like, he wouldn't fuck with her.
Oh.
Yeah.
So she was this close to dying, like, so many times.
She was there, like...
Fuck, man.
Yeah. How fucked up is that?
That's creepy.
And it all stems, like, from him getting rejected by some bird, and then, like, just doing a 180.
Yeah, well, that's how he got onto the sex dolls, because that's like, same sort of thing. Like, this guy got rejected once and it just fucked him, man. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
And
They
his
create
reality-
he creates this reality in his head.
yeah, well, this guy's reality was, like, if I have a sex doll, she'll never do that to me again. She'll always
but
be my
eventually
companion.
the need for human interaction has to overtake somewhere. Like, does that make sense?
Yeah.
And just, if you build up that, like, if you keep telling yourself you're king of the world, then you honestly will believe you're king of the world.
Yeah.
So if you go outside and try and interact, you're forced to interact with people. We're in a world where we have to interact with people.
Yeah.
And you don't understand why these people aren't bowing to your will.
Yeah.
Then just slash out. You think you can do whatever you want.
So, Johnny, how far into the sex doll industry have you gotten?
He's like, let's say, he placed a down payment on one of those Japanese borgs.
Yeah. Kimmy.
Actually, that sex doll that you sent me, the picture of, that was a hot
You
doll.
bought it.
Oh,
didn't you?
yeah.
That was a hot doll.
You bought it, didn't you?
See, his eyes lit up when I said to him, it's like $250. It's on sale.
Couldn't believe that.
Did you buy it?
No, I didn't.
He
buy it.
did, don't lie.
Put my first down payment.
It's sod your car.
But yeah, these sex robots, man, they have male ones as well.
Of course they do.
And they're just like, because there's two guys.
I am a sex robot.
There's two guys making them at the moment, and yeah, one of the guys was making female and male, and the other guy was just female. But yeah,
Okay, now, man.
That's
the
fine.
male one just sort of sits on all fours and just thrusts. Like, you can-
Can you imagine like a really cheap early 80s ex-Soviet block style? Like, like just gears grinding.
all rusty gears and shit.
Man. That's fucked up.
So, how, on a scale of 1 to fucked, how fucked was it?
It was pretty fucked.
Yeah?
Yeah, these are some weird people. But they're all just like, I just want companionship.
Like lonely
and I can't, yeah, like they seem like just sad, like...
They go out and talk to people.
They've got no social skills, is that like...
Like we said, there's 100
Pretty much.
groups. There's 100 groups and avenues to talk to people, man.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to, like, look at the... You know what, man? With social media, everyone has everything to say, but doesn't necessarily want to hear what anyone else has to say, just wants to get their bullshit opinion out.
Yeah.
Like, does that make sense?
Yeah.
I feel like that's what it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, dude, there's 3 of us here doing a podcast, not one of us. And we're open to hearing critique from anyone.
Yeah.
Yeah. We jump on it. If anyone ever, like, messages us, we're like, oh, that was... Yeah, we get our fucking shit out. You know what's fucked? I went to bed watching... That's pretty... Actually, no, I didn't go... That's wrong. I was in bed last night about to sleep, but as I was going to bed, I was watching Ted Bundy's last interview, and I started feeling, like, shit, because, like, I'm listening to this psycho talk about, like, porn and... killing people or whatever. So I put on one of our podcasts, like, to fall asleep.
Just to wind it
Just
up.
to hear his,
Line up
hear
the
his
mood.
sweet voice. Yeah,
my sweet
it just lulled me to sleep. But then what I'd been reading about the last couple, and then the drive here was murder, so I was just like reading about Ted Bundy like all the way here. But yesterday I saw something in the paper, and it got me reading about another fucking nut job, and it was going to bring up another point. Do you remember the Heaven's Gate cult? In 97?
Actually, I looked that up.
Yeah.
When was it, the other day?
It popped up in the paper a few days ago.
I have not heard of Heaven's Gate cult.
How can you not have heard of Heaven's Gate cult? Are you serious?
Serious.
Dude, that is probably one of my earliest recollections of like something mass media, other than the Martin Bryant shootings in 96. This was in 97. You don't remember it at all.
Heaven's Gate.
Dude, Apple fucking White, whatever his name was. Is that his name?
Marshall Applewhite.
Yeah, Applewhite. That guy. You don't remember that guy?
That guy's a nut.
He was fucked.
Yeah.
You don't remember him?
Normally, I'm onto things like
I
this.
thought-
Look at the sweet graphics on their logo,
it's
man.
such a dated website, man.
I have to admit, that logo is pretty cool, man. I like the colours in
It's
it.
96, circa 96, man.
Johnny's getting in. Johnny's in. You want to go?
I'm
Heaven's
lured in
Gate?
by the Heaven's Gate colours.
Yeah,
I like those
dude,
neon purple
you know what's
colours.
fucked? Like, hang on. I was,
How'd you get onto Bundy, by the way?
how?
Yeah, like what made you...
It was something I was watching last night. I was just on YouTube, like walking around my house cleaning up, and I was just watching something on YouTube, and then one of his links came up in the last interview came up.
Yeah, that's
and
all
I'm
it
like,
takes.
shit. I know a bit about Gacy, I know a bit about whatever, but I'd read into Bundy years ago. I just didn't remember like any of it. You know what I mean? It didn't stand out. But he's one of the most psycho of the psycho serial killers, man. He was fucked. The reason why the Heaven's Gate dude popped up, like I've always gone back to him for some reason, probably because the Heaven's Gate had popped up in mainstream media after the suicide in was it San Fernando or somewhere there? San Diego or San Fernando? Yeah, San Diego.
We're talking mass suicide sort of style.
dude.
They basically moved into a compound and just it was just a compound, right? Like a big mansion. And they believed, all right, the members of Heaven's Gate cult, all right, I'm reading, they believed through suicide their souls would be transported from their lifeless bodies to a spaceship which was supposedly trailing behind the Hale-Bopp comet. So there was
Halley's Comet? Halley's Comet?
The Hale-Bopp, yeah.
Oh.
So Hale-Bopp was coming, and they believed there was a spaceship behind it, and they would kill themselves and their bodies would ascend. Anyway, right? It was fucked up, man. So they did their mass suicide and they'd left 2 people behind. And they still run the website to this day. And this website's so campy. It's like early 90s. Like if you see it, it's fucked up, right?
So it's still going on?
Yeah, like just promoting the word, right? But this is what got me about him. I love UFO music. This is the fucked up thing. The reason why it popped up in the papers was because they all had shaved their heads, sold all their worldly possessions, said goodbye to their families, filmed like suicide videos, like, you know, we're leaving, blah, 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 blah. And they all wore black, like, jogging outfits, so like black hoodie, black trackies, whatever. And I remember the photos. This is what was really iconic about it. They're all in bunk beds and shit in their mansion. Because when the photographer, it was honestly one of the first big mass media coverage sort of things that like really stood out in the paper.
Yeah.
Because I still remember, like, the photo on the paper. It was these corpses, like all the bodies, under like, you know, the black sheet or whatever, the FBI, like the cops would have put over them.
Yeah.
But their legs, their feet were sticking out from underneath the things, and they were wearing black Nikes. And that became iconic. Like the black Nike sneaker with like the tick. And
They were all wearing the same sneaker.
they wanted to show that they were uniformed and one and... Yeah, there was this big thing
So
behind
he went to Costco and bought 35 pairs of...
Dude, yeah, literally. They bought like 35 fucking pairs of Nike trainers, shaved their heads like they looked like fucking aliens. They all believed that their leader would resemble like what the grey aliens look like.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but you know what killed it? Those Nikes now are they're selling for like $6,000 online. Because it was called the Decade, the Nike Decade, I think. I think that was the name of the sneaker line. And after that thing, like Nike got all the press because it's like they're wearing Nikes, but they want nothing to do with the runner, so they discontinued it immediately. So like mint copies of it are going on eBay.
So, okay, cool.
For like $6,000.
These bad boys.
Yeah, they're cool looking shoe.
They'd be like popular today.
39 bodies, dude. Yeah, 39 bodies, all black uniforms with black and white Nikes.
That picture of that guy that you showed me, Apple White, he was the
he was the guru. Yeah,
the earthly leader.
Yeah. But the deal with him, man, this is what got me about him, because like I always read, that was 97, man, so like 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Right? And it's always stood out with me, so from time to time I'll go back and look at the website. It's all just garbage, man. And I'll read about him. But I read about Heaven's Gate as a cult. I read about him specifically this week, and I looked into it, This is what got me about it. He is... This is the outlining point, right? He was the son of a Presbyterian minister and a former soldier.
Yep.
All right. Began his foray into biblical prophecy in the early 70s. Right. And he was fired from a uni in Houston over an alleged homosexual relationship he had with one of his students, right? He met some bird who was a married nurse at the time who had interest in biblical prophecy and all that sort of shit. This is in the early 70s. This is 72.
Like deserty areas, isn't it?
Yeah. Houston.
Houston, Texas.
Houston, man. Right? The two met in a psychiatric hospital where she worked while he was staying there. Yeah. She was a nurse. He was a psych ward.
Yet he managed to convince her somehow.
He later recalled that he felt that he had known her for a long time and concluded they'd met in a past life. She told him their meeting had been foretold to her by extraterrestrials, persuading him that he had a divine assignment.
This guy must have been a great salesman.
Dude, he was a Presbyterian, the son of a Presbyterian minister, right? He pondered the life of St. Francis of Assisi, and then, read some shit. They kept the King James version of the Bible on him, and studied several passages from the New Testament, and they focused on Christology, all types of shit, yeah? I'm reading a lot of this through Wikipedia. By 74, this is over 2 years, yeah? By 74, they had solidified into a basic outline, their beliefs. They concluded they'd been chosen to fulfill biblical prophecies, and they had been given higher level minds than other people. They wrote a pamphlet that described Jesus' reincarnation as a Texan, a thinly veiled reference to Applewhite. And they concluded they were two witnesses. They were the two witnesses described in the Book of Revelations. Yeah?
Oh, my.
And they would go to churches and spirit groups and stuff to, recruit and shit like that. Basically, what happened was...
How the fuck did you get that nutty?
They travelled, right? They travelled around.
God complex.
They went to different churches and shit. They were heavily in Christianity things, and the early 70s, the mid 70s was a time when a lot of people were trying to break away from conventional religion, Methodist and whatever, and form into just a more laissez-faire, big blanket sort of spiritual, biblical bullshit sort of thing.
Yeah.
And hang on, I've got to see when they actually created their first convert. So basically, they convinced. Oh, they're fucked.
So yeah, Applewhite.
They just travelled. They travelled the countryside, basically, man, like a stage show. I'm serious. I'm not saying it to be funny.
Like a travelling circus.
Yeah, man. I'm not even trying to be funny, man. Yeah. They visited, they went to churches and shit. They referred to themselves as the two, and they believed that they would be killed, then restored to life, and in the view of others, transported onto a spaceship, and to their dismay, their ideas were poorly received by religious communities. No shit.
I don't believe that.
They sought like-minded followers. This is in mid-70s, man. They shared, they had a group meeting with 80 people. They were two witnesses to what was written in the Bible. So they were going from the Bible. It wasn't like they created their own Bible.
That's what I was going to say. He's making this whole thing up from what he perceives as stuff from the Bible. He's turning it into this whole thing.
Later in 75, the crew, as they called themselves, before adopting Heaven's Gate, right? They assembled at a hotel in Oregon. They sold all their worldly possessions, and then they just vanished from public eye. And they just started going around, man. From that point, Applewhite and the woman, Nettles, they were calling themselves Doe and T. He was Doe. Yeah? And there were nearly 100 members across the states, man.
100?
Yeah. And they were sleeping in tents, sleeping bags, begging in the streets. And they were just going, just doing the rounds, man. They had different aliases like Bo and Peep and all that sort of stuff. They came up with a name.
Bonnie and Clyde.
Yeah, dude.
Terminator.
And Applewhite's writings, right, combined aspects of millennialism, prophetic end of the world, Gnosticism, belief in a lower divinity who ruled and created the world, and so on. And he suggested he believed himself to be Jesus' successor and the present representation of Christ on earth. Dude, it was nuts.
So the Bible really messed this guy up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was my point. Dude, the more the 70s and 80s, the belief system developed around the cult of personalities, around them. Membership just grew. Yeah, bad, man.
Membership soared.
And and this is what I was saying before. It became known a way for people to. It's called Sheilaism. Became known was a way for people to merge the diverse religious backgrounds around a shared generalized faith, and which followers of new religious sects like Applewhite's crew found very appetizing, alternative to traditional dogmas like in Judaism, Catholicism. Do you know what I mean? Because it was many of the people were from diverse backgrounds, right? And they were truth seekers or hippies and shit like that. And so going into the 80s, they were going away from the norm, you know? It's no, we found what we want, la 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 la. And this is pre-internet as well.
Yeah.
So they really were like a travelling circus. It was fucked.
It would have been so much easier back then to convince people, right?
Ugh.
Because of just the lack of information and
Yeah.
Hey, aliens are coming. Come join us. Yeah, done.
I'm the leader.
Dude, and that's it.
leader.
And then, man, they uploaded the videos, which you can watch on their website.
I actually just went on their website now. It's so 90s.
Yeah, when you get they got the website up and running in the mid-90s, and then like mass following, man.
But I'm just reading an article saying, there's people are still running it for them. Like,
Yeah,
it's
two
still,
people.
It's still on.
Yeah.
Like Heaven's Gate. It's still there. It's not...
Yeah, they got a large home, called the Monastery, which was in Rancho Santa Fe in San Diego.
Yeah.
And that would be like the final siren call for closure to Heaven's Gate. And they believed like they'd kill themselves, and then, yeah.
So how did they kill themselves? Was it like some sort of drink or something?
I think they drank something, I can't remember. Hang on, where is it? It just says suicide. Techniques to enter. Oh, their rhetoric is so fucked up. Like, if you read it, it's like, you cunts are fucked, man. That's bad. And mind you, this is after Waco. You remember Waco, Texas?
Yeah,
the Davidians?
yeah.
The Davidians were fucked. Like, dude, and that's the thing. That's
It's always around Texas or something.
yeah, Salt Lake City, heavy, like...
Deserty areas.
Deserty areas.
Lots of cactus.
There's dude.
They're probably all eating peyote.
Have you read about the Davidians? David Koresh? Koresh was fucked, right? The Davidians were Seventh-day Adventists, man. So it's heavy in church. It's not like it's like some random bullshit. And then, do you remember the siege that was in 93. That siege was 51 days.
Fucking
And then that fucking fire broke out when the feds went in. And they shot everyone up. And kids, there was child brides in that joint, like statutory rape. And Koresh and 82 other Branch Davidian men, women and children, man. And 4 ATF agents were killed in that siege. Yeah? The rise of Koresh. Look at his head.
And it's all this shit's in the name of the Bible, like...
Yeah!
Like,
And what they interpret as the Bible.
what they interpret as it.
Yeah. How fucked up is that?
Dude, this guy looks like just
How do you get that skewed, though? Like...
Dude.
He looks like your local bogan.
Yeah, man.
Oh, yeah, mullet and big sunnies and...
You know what the funny part is about David Koresh? My mate in Adelaide.
He looks like Pointer. Yeah, fast forward.
Pointer.
Years ago, like late 90s, whatever, me and mate in Adelaide were talking about Koresh and all that sort of stuff. We're reading about facts. He's like, man, that cunt was fucked. He rocked up to the Waco compound in 81, right? And he was well received, but then he had an affair with the then prophetess of the Branch Davidians, Lois Roden, right? And her son at the time, when she died, her son was the leader in there. So when she died, he took the reins, yeah? And he inherited the position of prophet and leader. And then Roden and Koresh clashed. And then Koresh enjoyed the loyalty of the majority. So, like, they basically... And the thing is it was funny... it wasn't funny, but like the woman, like Lois Rogan, whatever, she was like a senior citizen when she was like thing, and then David Koresh got done. Like, one of the reasons for the siege was like apparently there were child brides, and he was having sex with like all these minors.
Oh my God.
And my mate in Adelaide said, "You see, it's after the years of banging that old bird trying to get into power. Now he's just trying to even the score by going after minors." But Liz, in an attempt to regain support, Rogan, like the prophetess's son, challenged Koresh to raise the dead, going so far as to exhume a corpse to demonstrate his spiritual supremacy.
Something must be wrong here.
And you know what happened?
It's not the right corpse.
This illegal activity of, like, exhuming a corpse gave Koresh an opportunity to attempt to file charges against him. What the fuck? So he used it, like, do you know what I mean? Yeah.
Oh, God.
And then there was a raid in 87 by Koresh, man, equipped with 5 22 caliber semi-automatic rifles, a couple 12 gauges, 400 rounds of... Their objective seemed to be to retake the land that Koresh had left 3 years earlier. How fucked is that?
Don't want to take it back.
Yeah. And then there was the Waco siege. You know what I mean? Koresh had encouraged his followers to think of themselves as students of the Seven Seals rather than as Branch Davidians. During the standoff, one of his followers publicly announced that he wanted them to thereafter be identified by the name Koreshians. Yeah. He had a breakaway sect. And that's what it all was. It claimed Koresh, twisted the Bible's teachings by fathering more than a dozen children with members' wives. Feels the Lord had anointed me and appointed me to be the leader. Claims blah, blah, blah.
Seems like all these dudes, they just have like a God complex. Like they think they're...
Yeah.
And then they just use the Bible to like, justify that sort of thing. Yeah. Like, just manipulate it
which religion would all these idiots be spawning from? Christianity.
Christianity.
That seems pretty nutty to me, man. 83.
That's fucking off its head.
That's off its head.
Man, that's...
that's what I was
I'm
saying.
the anointed leader.
It's not just, dude, it's not just Muslim extremists.
Yeah.
It's Christian extremists too. The only thing is they're less ambitious. They don't want to take the world on. They do it
we'll
one
just
step
take
at a
on
time.
like 50,
They're happy to just
200
satisfy
people.
their initial urges.
Yeah, but it's almost creepier because of the weird shit they like. It's not just, you know. Like,
but that's the thing. And you know what? This is all in the 80s and 90s, right? Where mass media, social media didn't exist. Like, you don't have, you know, Kim Kardashian takes a shit the world knows
yeah,
about it,
completely
right?
different, yeah.
But it's still like Apple White on the front page of the Herald Sun, Koresh in 93. I remember all of these things. Dude, Koresh in 93, The Siege, I remember watching it on TV. I was 9 years old, man. And I remember it vividly. 9 years old, just on TV. No, pre-internet, pre-Facebook, pre-Instagram, right? But, do you think these cunts do you think they exist now? Do you reckon there are dudes like, you know, like psychos, like
Oh, yeah, of course,
Koresh or Apple White floating around, thinking they're prophets?
absolutely, man.
Do we hear about it? No. Because all we hear about is about
Celebrity and this
celebrity shit
Yeah.
and Muslim extremists
Yeah.
going off in the Middle East.
Dude, these cult leaders now, these days, would be rubbing their hands together going, fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not on us.
Yeah.
And you look at all the televangelists milking like millions of people for money.
Benny Hinn.
Yeah, but like, do you know what I
Benny
mean?
Hinn, yeah.
Dude,
Great
they're
man.
all the televangelists.
But that's like a cult leader. It's a cult
they're
leader.
a cult leader, and they're a cult personality. They create followings, and we talked about it before. All of them have done fucked up shit with like hookers, drugs, minors.
There's no difference, really.
And they all get off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like
What's the
glorified.
difference?
They're like glorified.
They're on
now.
TV. They've
Yeah.
got pay TV networks, man.
Yeah.
The Benny Hinn network, man.
But that's what I'm saying. It's easier to just have like a bunch of Arabs running around the Middle East killing each other.
Yeah.
It's better
And
news.
get a couple. Yeah, it's better news. Sells more newspapers. No one gives a fuck about Christian nut jobs like this. Oh, 80 killed. Who cares?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
But you're
man.
telling me they're not running around like they don't exist now.
Yeah.
And I read about it all the time. Like Jonestown. We mentioned Jonestown a while back. That was a mass suicide. Go look up Jonestown. Tell me what religion they fucking followed. Yeah, no, I'll do it. Fuck it. Stats. Here we go. Jonestown murders. Dude, psychos. You want psychos? I can't remember when we talked about, and there's a conspiracy theory obviously about that. The People's Temple. Yeah? In, where is it? Hang on a second. Cyanide poisoning, blah, 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 blah. Mass suicide. A third of the victims, 304, were minors. Yeah.
Oh, that's fucked up.
909 Americans died in Jonestown. As a revolutionary suicide. This was in 78.
Where's Jonestown?
Georgetown.
Georgetown.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
Desert style? Oh.
No, in what's it called? In South America.
Oh, sorry. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Like near like in the Caribbean area.
Yeah.
Yeah? Yeah. And their flag's got a nice Union Jack on it.
Guys, if these people, like, you know, like Benny Hinn and cult leaders and stuff like that, you know how much they're fucking worth, man?
Dude, they have private jets.
Dude, Kenneth Copeland
Yeah, Kenneth Copeland.
is worth $760 million.
Yeah. Dude, there's-
How can someone, you know, all about God and wanting to help people, worth that much? Like Rob Patterson, 100 million. Benny Hinn, 45 million. And that's what he shows.
But he's running one of these crazy circus shows as well.
Yeah.
Dude, you watch his show and there's people up on the stage shaking and fitting
Yeah.
while he's holding their head.
Dude, just for a quick record.
Same thing.
The Jonestown suicide, 909 people dead, yeah, in South America. That was an eclectic Pentecostal church with socialist and communist elements.
There you go.
Yeah. And dude, that's essentially the same shit as like Hillsong. That,
Yeah.
Pentecostal shit.
Yeah.
You're telling me 909 dead in a mass suicide, that's not an act of a nut job?
Some kind of, yeah.
Like, this was years ago, right? But like, you know.
And the thing is, we're probably just scratching the surface on the amount of actual shit that's...
And yeah, Nick just said, Benny Hinn and all the other heads, right? Their net worth, take 5 of these heads, along with like Swaggart and Baker and all them.
Yeah.
Take their net worth, you could probably save like, how many, like what would their net worth
Millions
be?
of
Millions. It'd be a few $1 billion just there in revenue.
And that photo of Kenneth Copeland, he's sitting there with his cheesy smile, like,
There's something not right with that guy, man.
Nah.
Like, there's something really creepy about him.
Yeah.
But the fact that they have private jets and shit, like, just why? Like, you're a fraud. You're
Fly economy, man.
say Jetstar, and you'll see.
Yeah. But it was my point. Like, all these, like, just reading about, like, that sort of shit, Christianity is fucking in all this.
Yeah.
All of it.
Yeah, it's all
But
Christian.
everyone's, worried about ISIL.
Yeah.
When it's like, you know what? All these heads wouldn't have that many more less followers. They have the same amount of followers, if not more, Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's just tarnishing, like, the same, like, it's like saying, painting Islam with the same fucking brush. It's like, no, because there's clearly psychos in the group, and then the norm that don't give a fuck,
Yes.
just want to live normal lives.
Yes.
You know what I
And
mean?
we just get a one-sided view.
Yeah.
It's just all...
You can tear apart Islam and say, oh, it's a violent religion and blah, 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 blah. It's like, yeah, okay, then what possessed fucking Applewhite to fight a mass suicide to,
Yeah.
or, Methodist fucking, practicing Methodist dude like Ted Bundy to kill everyone?
Yeah. But, yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
And that was for no sole purpose other than his own.
Yeah.
It's fucked, man.
That's fucked up.
I'm just reading up Kenneth Copeland, man. It's funny, some of the controversies, man. Like,
That guy scares me.
his
Who's
eyes
this?
are
Who's this?
fucked.
Kenneth Copeland.
Who's he?
He's fucked. He's like,
Have you got a picture of him there?
Yeah.
Is there something not right with him? Like,
Dude, he's a ministry.
Jesus, he looks like a reptilian.
dude,
He's fucked.
He looks like one of those fake people doing like music videos,
Yes,
where it's
yes.
like a. Do you want to just thought?
like year 2000?
Yeah, man.
Dude, that's the first... As soon as you started speaking, I thought Silver Chair, year 2000. Like the fake news head, like that.
He's a creepy
Headroom
fucker.
style.
Seriously, straight away, man.
I knew, man. I knew straight away.
Yeah, man. Seriously, they look fucked.
You can see him on a stage, like, promoting
Yeah.
his fucking...
Stiff
religious-
shirt,
Yeah.
getting fucking puppeted out.
I think he's Catholic-based, Copeland.
Yeah?
I got no idea. I've never heard of him.
Have a look.
In fact, I know he is. We'll make it happy.
Wait, in fact, you know he is. Why
Am
is
I
that,
wrong?
Johnny?
Am I wrong?
No, why is that? No, I'm not like...
Just in the way. Daniel Johns before he became an emo fucking weird hipster.
Daniel Johns when he was cool.
Yeah, man.
Doesn't say anything. Could be.
What a song, man.
Look up Kenneth Copeland, people.
Knocking on
He
death's
looks
door.
fucked. He's worth $760 million.
760 million that we know about. Yeah. How fucked up is that, man?
We don't know if he's got the gold bullion in the basement or...
The gold bullion.
Have you ever watched his show? Like, the way he talks to the crowd.
I've come across it and it's like...
Dude, it's so bizarre. Like, I just can't...
Out of
fathom-
interest, I just wanted to have a look at it and be like, oh man, that's really weird. Like, all these guys have a way with their crowds.
Oh, they're just
and it's funny
charismatic-
because
charismatic
he's from Texas.
Yeah, just like these serial killers, man. They
He's from
have-
Texas.
Yeah, just like the serial killers. Like, people are, like, just falling at their feet for some reason.
They're charismatic individuals that give
Johnny, if you
reason.
put on a suit, clean up, go out there and spread your message, I guarantee you'll get followers.
Yeah.
And believe what, like, the thing is, like, these people start believing in their own hype. And they believe what they say.
pathological lifestyle.
Absolutely. And they believe. And they're like, yeah, actually, what I am saying is the truth. And that's what gives them a false sense of, I'm God, or I'm better than...
They say it so many times, it just
Yeah.
becomes, like...
the
part of
truth.
them.
It becomes the truth to them. Which is creepy. Which is fucking creepy as fuck.
Yeah, man.
How can a pastor have $760 million?
And what gets me is the fact that these people still, like, if this was like, if they were from villages in Peru, up in the mountains where no one knew any different or any better.
And they've got 20 followers.
Yeah, then I'd understand.
And they're wearing a dress of some sort.
Yeah,
Like,
like I'd understand that if it was like a monastery in the fucking mountains where it was just the way and modern technology hadn't like interfered yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you go to the the remote villages in Brazil where there's no no influence, from
Just people living
Yeah,
off the land.
It is what it is. Like,
yeah.
that's
Or you go to
mud
China,
huts.
you go to rural China up near Siberia somewhere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like those really. And they're devout, like, Eastern Orthodox or whatever, but they've got nothing else. Like, they don't know any different. They
You'd
don't
get
have
it.
running water.
You'd get it, yeah.
Yeah, I understand.
But their pastor or leader or whatever doesn't have $760 million.
Exactly. Their pastoral leader might be at the top of the food chain in that group, but chances are he's still sleeping in the same shack next to you.
Still eating the same rice as you are, still
Yeah.
eating the same shit
These
as you are.
cunts are on fucking TV across the world.
He lives in a mansion, man.
Yeah.
Like a
It's like-
mega mansion.
Don't
Private
the
jets
people
mansion.
that
Yeah.
follow blindly, don't they fucking read the news or like, instead of just reading whatever bullshit this person's saying, take a break from Facebook and just go to Wikipedia and look at something else.
You know what it is, Dim? You know what it is?
No.
It's God's will.
Yeah, that's it.
And God put Kenneth Copeland here to spread the love and the message of God, and if he was to result in finances and everything, he would have everything, coming towards him. So God put him here, right? Kenneth Copeland got put here on earth, right, to spread the good word. Okay? And his followers were to give him money for it. To live like the God that he is. I salute Kenneth Copeland. I surrender all.
That's it, man.
I think it takes a certain type of person, though, to fall for it. Like the kind of person that would get hypnotised by a stage hypnotist.
Benny Hinn.
Oh, dude, last night playing FIFA. Last night playing FIFA, we were installing a dishwasher in my house.
If we play now, you're going to smash.
Oh, you're fucked. We had the maddest.
No, Johnny.
Maddest derby.
No. You.
Dude, the funniest part, for our final games, we picked internationals. So we've been doing league teams. We've done like the Premier League, then the Italian League, the Serie A. So then we picked the internationals, and it was England versus France. Yeah, I go, who does England not get along with? Germany, France. So we both said it at the same time. Yeah. So I've gone France. First game was in France, and we drew.
Yeah. No, you won.
I was up
3-2.
3-2. And I said, let's go second leg on aggregate. And we're playing in England at Wembley. And then he's like launched a tackle to just chop me up. And nothing was, not even a whistle.
Not even.
I go, what the fuck? And this guy's just going, this is England. And you can just see this in the background. Fortuna.
See, it's all fun and games until Bobby comes to play. Then
Bobby,
it's a
no,
different
you don't
story.
understand, man.
No, it was intense.
I think we've matched him, mate. It's all over.
Speaking of the Premier League.
Yeah, Chelsea won the league.
Yeah.
How much?
Why is it looking at me?
All right.
Like, I don't believe it.
Actually, me and Tim were talking about this yesterday. How many English players do you have in your team?
John Terry.
Who's retired, and you've played him 3 times this season. Yeah, who else? Name me another English player in your team.
Just one.
Just apart from John Terry, who's your captain and you're getting rid of because you said we're not going to renew his contract.
I don't know. Who else is there?
I'm not asking you.
I don't know.
You don't know. Yeah. You bought all your players, man.
We're all humans, so it doesn't matter.
Fuck off. Theodore fucking, what's his name? Thaddeus.
Theodore.
Thaddeus wank job. Actually, a human guy.
Thaddeus the racist Russell.
Oh, did you see what happened with Mark
Chelsea?
Murphy? Fuck off. I was going to say, speaking of footy, Mark Murphy.
Yeah. Oh,
the sledge.
Look, that brings me to a thing. Wait, like I said about sledging,
Yeah.
And I said I'm all for sledging. But what we said was, it's got to be to a level of, you're not going to go bag someone's fucking wife.
Why were they bagging her?
Because they reckon
that Wayne Carey's been banging his missus.
Before they got married, though.
Oh.
Is that what it was?
Yeah. And Wayne Carey's like, I've never met this chick,
Wayne
man.
Carey
Like,
came out
why Wayne Carey?
He goes, I've been talking to Murph for a year and a half, something to do with media or something. Like, he's developed a friendship or whatever with Mark Murphy.
Why would I?
He's like, I don't think I've ever actually met the woman. Yeah.
So where did it come from?
Nothing. St
Kilda players.
They just made it up.
Someone would have got a hint of, Carey's talking to blah, blah, blah. Hey,
and they figured, let's bag him about his wife. Yeah.
Other football players' wives.
Yeah.
Okay.
And see what Murphy did though? Carlisle got nuts, right? And Murphy went up to him and started fucking full yelling at him and then ran off and then started a brawl.
Yeah.
See the brawl?
Yeah, I saw the big brawl, yeah.
And he didn't shake anyone's hands except for 2 players when he walked off.
Yeah.
Imagine some of the shit they were saying.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, but
no, they're running past him going quack.
Maguire came out. Maguire came out and he said that only happens because sledging is one thing that, like, you can sledge and nothing actually happens. Like, I can't remember which the commentating team at the time were like, if that shit happened in the old days, you get sorted out. Like, straight away, you get a punch to the face.
To the jaw.
Yeah, big fist to the jaw or something.
Yeah.
Now you can't touch them, so you can say whatever you want.
Yeah.
And there's no, and then they brought up the whole sledging argument again, like, is it too far? Do we just ban it? It's within reason. Yeah. If we were playing footy, right? Or whatever sport it is, like I've sledged on field before. Like,
but
it's like nice shot, dickhead.
That's different.
You're like a fucking weak cunt or whatever.
We said last time, that's different. That's if you're personally attacking him for his playing capabilities or trying to get him off his game, that's different. But to bring in like his wife and his family and shit like that,
that's my point. Yeah? Like me and this, okay, we're mates, right? If we're playing on opposing teams, we'd sledge each other like, you're fucking weak cunt,
shit cunt.
But it wouldn't be about his family.
Whatever, right?
Yeah.
If I said something about his missus or something or his sister, or he said something about my sister or something, fucking be on. Like, there'd be no, do you know what I mean?
What?
It's like, what are you talking? That's one step too far.
Yeah, that's too far. Yeah.
Like, get fucked.
Too far, man. Too far.
And Maguire made a good point. He goes, that shit happens, and nothing can actually be done about it. Like, it's normal, it's going to happen. You're going to sledge because it's just intense competition.
Yeah.
But in the old days, you cop a fucking punch to the face for it, and that'd be the end of it.
You know what? They kept going with it. The whole team.
Yeah.
Most of the team went with it. And Montagna and all that went up to Murph, and apparently Montagna wasn't one of the ones that kept saying it. And he went up and shook his hand. And then St Kilda captain came out and said, look, we apologise.
Did you see what that Carlos said about it?
Oh, yeah, he liked the tweet or something.
He called him a little whinger.
Yeah.
Goes, stop being like a whinger or a sook or something.
Coming from a drug cheat.
Coming from a drug cheat.
You fucking giraffe looking poof.
Coming from a drug cheat.
Fuck off.
Like, are you serious? Sorry, Mr. Integrity, you know what I mean? Like,
Peptide.
Hey,
not only did he get suspended
Mr.
for Essendon, not only that, they caught him doing coke in America, in Miami.
Yeah.
You got the golden boy over there. Yeah, fuck off, man.
Captain Peptide.
And that's not because he's a Carlton player, Mark Murphy, whatever. This would have been for any other
Anyone,
player.
yeah.
Like, whether it be Rewalt Smith. Imagine it happened to Rewalt, man. Do you reckon he would have fucking had a cry about it?
Yeah,
He would be.
Rewalt. Yeah, he would have had a whole day about it.
Yeah.
They would have, Nick Rewalt Day. Everyone has to wear like a pink shirt for the next footy game.
Yeah, definitely.
They lower the flag.
Half mast.
Yeah, man.
But you know what I mean? Like,
I can see that.
Oh, fuck. Nick Rewalt.
they would have
All I
banned
can
sledging.
see-
If it was Nick Rewalt, they would have banned
All I
sledging.
can see is Nick Rewalt's face. You know when he did his Achilles or whatever, and his ACL, and he was just crying like on the
With
bed.
his hands in his
Yeah, like I
face.
feel bad. Like, I mean, shit thing that happened to you that early in his career. This was like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
But like, it's still, I can just see him like with the tears.
Yeah.
Someone sledged him about his missus or
Yeah.
something.
Head down in the palm. Yeah,
Because if someone said that, someone's about you,
He's
bet
on
you misses.
suicide watch.
Yeah.
You would have
So
lost
you would
it.
have just given the flag. Like, here, take it, mate. 3 points.
We forfeit the
And
season. We
Rewalt?
forfeit the season.
Yeah, you don't need to bring families into it.
Look, families is stepping across the line, man. Like, that's like.
Sounds like it was probably a game plan of St Kilda from the word go.
it was.
Like, for them all to be in on it and just continually going with it, then it must have been a game plan.
Yeah.
Let's get him
And
off his
people were
game.
saying, like, people were coming out and saying, St Kilda's not a dirty team. Really?
That's pretty dirty.
Dude, that's fucking dirty. What do you mean? They had the schoolgirl
preemptive.
with Milne, the schoolgirl thing with Milne and Ricky Nixon.
Yeah.
They had the naked photos with Rewalt and Del Santo
was
and all
a funny
that.
photo, man.
Like, St Kilda's been through their fair shit. And then now Carlo, the drug boy, comes around and fucking, decides to start sledging. And then the whole team got involved.
Yeah, that's dirty.
Like, hey, man, come on.
Dirty tactics.
Yeah. Like,
Teddy Tax. Did you see, this actually made me laugh. I didn't quite understand it. Do you remember the girl at the Olympics that made that non-impressed face? Michaela, what was her name? She was a gymnast. She won silver. And it became a meme. She had like this cat's ass face. She was on the podium. She just
Michaela what?
Michaela, hang on, I'll look it up.
She had a cat face.
Yeah, dude. Wait a second. You don't remember it?
Cat's asshole lips.
Dude, it became the biggest fucking meme, like...
If you show me, I'll remember.
Yeah.
At the last Olympics just gone, right?
Was it the last ones? Hang on.
Rio?
Uzbekistan, I think. No,
Pakistan. Yeah, this one. Come on, you remember this. That. You remember that?
oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I
remember
remember
her
that.
face?
Like a fucking meerkat.
Yeah, she does. Just popped up, taking around.
Yeah, just
then
Yeah,
back
she
down.
popped up in the news like the other day. Right? She put an Instagram video up or something of her in her jocks, like in a banger, just dancing. Right? It's just bare ass.
So I'm going to have to look at this for research.
Yeah. Why you can't do that? You see it?
I'm going to have a look as well.
Yeah.
So her name?
This. Right? She's got her ass out.
Oh, she has a
She
fantastic...
just does like a little turn. Like
what's
they had
her-
the video up.
What's her
like,
last name?
Maroney. Maroney.
She's got a really nice
She's a
backside.
gymnast. She's a gymnast.
Pretty toy.
But like, she apparently got her lips done and all that sort of shit. And they're saying like they don't know what, because I think she retired from like gymnast shit. You know, she's a former Olympic gymnast. Like, she's not a gymnast anymore. They don't know what she's doing. But you know how all the hack jobs had happened, like on the net over the last like week, and she put that video up. Oh, because like all those WWE stars are getting their sex tapes leaked and shit like that. All their phones are getting hacked. Yeah, like one by one, man, they just came falling. All of them just getting, topless photos of them up on the net, them like giving head and shit like that.
How are their phones getting hacked?
I don't know, targeted, right? It happens.
Okay.
But she put that video up, and then she had to defend herself and say, no, my phone wasn't hacked, I just uploaded it because I wanted to.
It's just me being cute.
Yeah. And like critics and shit like all over it, like just saying different crap, like blah, 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 blah.
Pretty tight, man. Pretty tight.
And I'm like,
Yeah, she's hot. She's hot.
and I'm like, wait a second, man. They're all losing it. Like, maybe because she's a former gymnast. Like, that actually matters. Like, she was part of a meme. You know what I mean? And she said to basically everyone, she won the silver medal. Oh, London Olympics. That's when she was out, right? The racy post sent the social media world into a frenzy, many calling the post sad, disgusting, telling the 21-year-old to respect yourself, blah, 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 blah.
Is that it? That picture?
It's a video. She literally just does like a pirouette.
Yeah, see, look.
Oh, okay.
Right? And basically, yeah, she responds to online criticism.
That's mad.
The post, I didn't get hacked, unfollow if you need to, or love, right?
Someone wrote slay me.
How many girls do that though? Like on Instagram,
Dude.
like constantly.
Yeah. How many, and it's saying because she's a role model or whatever, because she's
not
like,
a role model.
And you know what the fucking flip of it is?
But she's finished,
Dude,
right?
fucking Jenna, what's the name of the model?
One of the Kardashians.
Yeah, the young, not the youngest one.
Kendall.
I was going to say Caitlyn.
Caitlyn.
Yeah, Kendall Jenner.
Is it Kendall Jenner that I'm thinking
Kendall
of?
and there's the other one. There's two of them.
Kendall's the young one that's a model.
Yeah, I just know her as the Jenner girl.
Yeah.
Right? Dude, she released a photo, exact same jocks, fucking at a windowsill. She's basically naked.
And
Look
she's-
it up. If you
That's
look
brave.
it up.
And she's
brave.
beautiful.
Yeah, and they're like, oh, sizzling, hot, blah, 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 like everything you'd imagine. I'm like, what's the fucking difference?
The difference is she once did gymnastics.
Has
a while ago, like quite a while
I
ago.
was like, hang on, the first thing I noticed was they're wearing the exact same underwear, like just a black fucking banger.
Yeah.
Like, what's the difference? One was like, yeah, Jenna sizzles a new racy photo shoot.
And this other one's
And the other
slut.
one's like, slut, disgusting.
Kylie Jenner?
Yeah, Kylie Jenner, that's what I'm thinking of.
Sport whore.
Yeah, dude. Sport whore.
What's the difference,
Like, what the
dude?
fuck
Like,
is the difference? And then, like, there's another one. Pamela Anderson sizzles a new photo shoot at 50. Like, alright, man. But, like, I just don't get it.
so
Like,
if you once did sport, you're a whore. Otherwise, you're alright. Okay. What's the difference?
respect yourself. But Kim K rocks up to, the latest fucking award show practically naked. Like, there was another article about women going out to clubs. This guy's face.
She's rocking. She's got a rocking body. Like,
Yeah, dude, there's another article.
Gymnast body.
There's another thing going on. Women rocking up to clubs wearing nothing but black masking
back
tape,
in
like
the-
electrical tape.
Yeah.
Making intricate designs and shit, covering up their shit, which artistically looks okay. You wouldn't wear it out to a club. Artistically, for a photo shoot, it might look alright.
Yeah, I've seen that shit on the runway. They have like,
and it's like, oh, daring, brave.
Yeah, daring.
Yeah, hot. Like, all this shit. It's like, dude, the girl did a 2-second pirouette wearing her underwear, and everyone's like, come out with a knife.
When she does gymnastics, she wears underwear anyway.
Dude, when she does gymnastics in a leotard.
Like, what's the
You
difference?
can literally see every crevice.
What's the
Every
difference?
crevice.
What's the difference?
leaves nothing to the imagination.
And she's doing flips and spreading and doing everything.
Yeah.
What's the difference? Why? Because she's in a competition.
But she puts up a 10-second, like, literally the clip goes for 4 seconds.
She's just dancing.
She
like,
just does a
thing-
pirouette.
Like, it's pretty tough.
No, she's got a decent rig. I'm just
hot.
saying, like, do you see, like, the fucking,
The
like,
logic.
Yeah, the logic.
Makes no
Or
sense.
lack of logic
Yeah.
on their behalf. Yeah.
It's like, and you know what, man? Like, you know how, like, we keep saying hiding in plain sight? Like, everything's hiding in plain sight? It is hiding in plain sight. You got fucking Jenna doing a racy Instagram photo, and it's like, oh, sizzles and shit like that. Then you got this one doing a fucking little pirouette, and everyone's losing their shit. And then we've got, like, the whole Bachelor contradiction where 20 dudes are rocking up to bang one girl, and we're all waiting for
Waiting
them to
for their
fuck.
shot.
I wonder who she's going to blow.
Yeah, but then if someone gets seen with, like, a new bird or something, it's like, oh, what a fucking scumbag. Like,
There you go.
this is all the hiding in plain sight shit. It makes no sense.
There's two examples that make no sense at all. Like,
You know what's fun?
why?
And I'm just realizing it now. Dude, like we said, this is our 1-year anniversary.
Oh, yeah, happy birthday, boys.
Yeah, happy birthday. This is our 1-year anniversary, right?
Wait, don't sing it yet.
No, man.
Mr. Smithers. I'm going to jump out of a cake later for you boys.
I'm going to go down the road to get a coffee, come back, and you're jumping out of a cake.
I'm going to have whipped cream on my titties.
What are you doing?
This is for you, boys. This is for you. Alright?
Oh, I know what this is.
I don't like it so far.
No, I know exactly what this is. I can just hear it from the audio. Like, I can tell what it is. It's old.
This is for Johnny. Are you wanking yourself under the table? What's going on? We know it would be nice if she wanted to hurry the fuck up. You know what it is.
I have no idea. It sounds like distorted video right now.
Yeah, because it's
Not
old.
impressed.
It's old audio.
This is for Duke Leverage.
To you. Happy birthday, Mr. Smith.
Bitch, my wife's here.
That's Marilyn, right?
Yeah.
Singing to Kennedy.
First of all, she doesn't know how to sing. Second of all, what a whore.
She was in musicals like all through the 50s, but she doesn't know how to sing.
Third of all, Bobby.
Fuck, I let him sing all the dialogue.
Seriously.